Oh my God, Maya, can I touch your hair? It's so exotic.
Speaking of hair, did you know that Madam C.J. Walker was the first black woman millionaire, and she made hair care products for black women?
Marcus, you speak so well.
Wow. All right, so I know this sounds familiar, y'all. So we are talking about microaggressions.
All right, y'all. So we're talking about microaggressions, okay? So Maya, what are microaggressions to you? What do you?
So the actual definition of microaggressions is a statement, action, or incident regarded as a indirect or subtle unintentional discrimination towards a marginalized group. So, for example,
Right.
African Americans.
Right.
Okay. So give us a general example of a microaggression.
Oh, where do I begin? Where do I start?
I got a list.
Let me pull out a list.
What is it? Like the scroll?
But no, one example is I don't see color.
Oh yeah, right.
I don't see color. Everyone's equal to me. I don't see color,
Right.
which is a lie. That's one of the classic ones.
Yeah, it's a lie, but it also, when you say I don't see color, it's like you don't see me because
Yeah.
I'm part of.
That's part of my
part
makeup.
of
I am color.
Right.
I'm color.
Not to be confused with
Color.
color.
Right?
I'm colored.
I'm colored.
Color.
Wait, what? See me. See this color.
No, yeah, that's true. What's another example?
You're pretty for a black girl.
That's like one of the most outrageous
I was
ones
gonna,
to
and that
me.
one just seems more racist than anything. That don't even seem micro. That's like
It seems
macro.
That's macro.
That's macro. Anytime you say you're something for something,
Right.
it's wrong.
It's
Yeah,
wrong.
just
It's not a
don't even do
compliment.
it. It's not a compliment.
Right.
Yeah.
What do they call it? Backhanded compliment?
Backhanded
That's straight up a
compliment.
backhanded
Exactly.
compliment.
Right.
Now I know one of your favorite shows, Insecure,
Right.
when Issa was
man.
working for We Got Y'all.
Oh, jeez. That whole area was just a plethora of micro and probably
Just
macro
nonstop
aggression.
microaggressions. Yeah. What was that? The first 2 or 3 seasons she was in?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm so happy she left.
Just by the name of the organization.
And then it's mostly filled with white people.
Right. We Got Y'all.
Remember the logo was like ridiculous and everything. It's like
Yeah,
really
it was problematic
Right.
all around.
Exactly.
problematic.
Another one, like when we opened up, when I was asking you to touch your hair,
Yeah.
you know, right? That's like that's
Oh
a
my
thing.
God. It's so much of a
problem.
thing. Solange had to write a whole song about it.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Stop touching people with your hands.
That's just weird in general.
Right?
Right.
Don't be don't be touching people, without their
because.
permission, just because. It's like,
Right.
ooh, it's
like
like
you do that with dogs or someone's dog or something.
Yeah.
Even then,
Even
it's
then,
like,
sometimes people ask.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I
Right.
touch your dog? They don't
Right.
just don't.
They
you know.
just don't. Well,
exactly like you find like I actually see people find it weird when you touch a dog randomly and it's like why you near my dog. It's the same for black people.
Right. But I
Surprisingly
did-
enough.
But I did ask you, so does that make a difference?
I don't know. That's a good question because I feel like it just depends. It could be situational.
Yeah.
Like if it's coming from someone you could tell, like you can tell authentic. You can kind of tell genuine.
Right.
And I guess it depends on who it's coming from. Like if it's a friend or if it's
Right.
like a
And it's
like,
out of the blue. If it's part of the conversation that you're having,
Yeah.
is it just random?
Yeah, is it like is it random? Because even black people have asked to touch my hair,
And they
and to be honest, I'm a little more inclined to
Right.
say yes to
right.
them honestly
Yeah.
than
Oh,
a
yeah,
white
that makes
person.
sense.
Because it's not something, like you said, I think it's situational because
Yeah.
I think there's also some room for, with all of these microaggressions, to be addressed, but also to be, they might just be curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they truthfully curious? And you can
Yeah.
tell if
Right.
they're genuinely
Right.
curious
Right.
about a situation, or
Right.
if they're just trying to be,
Ridiculous.
ridiculous,
Or
racist,
wanna
or
learn.
funny. Or
Right.
wanna
I
learn.
want to learn.
Or
Yeah,
wanna
exactly.
learn.
Yeah.
It could be that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And
definitely.
it's kind of annoying that we have to always read into that though.
Right, we do.
And that's the thing too,
Yeah.
right? It's like, that's the thing. When it comes from, honestly, from a white person, there's always, for a black person, there's always going to be that thing in the back of your head where it's like, because that's the relationship. That's the
Yeah.
history that's been created to where
Right.
we feel like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it.
Well, what is a personal experience with a microaggression that you may have had?
I mean, almost all people after a certain age have probably experienced something, either one or a bunch. You know, it depends. I know for me, there was one time I was at a rap party for a show that I will not name. You know, and this, so I don't want to give out any names for that. But so I was at this rap party, and
Rap party meaning
Oh,
they
yeah.
just complete. It wasn't like a hip hop.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Rap party in this case is wrapping up a season of a show, right?
Thank you.
So I was at a rap party for this show that I was working on, and I was at the bar. I was chilling, minding my business,
Doing what you do.
doing what I do, just hanging
Minding
out.
your black business.
Quite literally minding my black business. Just at the bar, having a drink. I'm just sort of like chilling, waiting for people to come by. I was probably waiting for one of my friends to come back from something, right? And a person taps me on the shoulder and is like, you probably shouldn't be drinking while you're working here. I just kind of looked, and I was kind of just looking at him like, oh, I don't. I'm here for the party. And I guess in this person's mind, it was because I had a red shirt and some of the waiters had like red shirts, but it wasn't like a dress. It was a fancy shirt. And then the person next to this person had to be like, oh no, he's with us.
Wow.
Yeah. Turns out this person was a producer on the show too. So that kind of just made it even more just like, word.
Wow.
Yeah.
He didn't see you.
No.
And again, minding my business, not
This
even
is the
talking to
rap
him.
party.
Yeah.
Taps me on the shoulder and it's like,
It's like you felt the need to take that initiative to tell him to get back to work when you have no idea, like, why.
That's the other part of
Right.
it.
Right.
Are you running this
you don't even work
Just
here.
enjoy
Right,
the party.
Just enjoy the party.
You know,
Right, exactly.
You got to control
Oh, my
what the
goodness.
people who work here are doing.
But what about you, Maya?
Yeah.
Oh man, microaggressions. So I'll go with this story. So I used to play on the volleyball team in school, and surprise, surprise, it was me and one other black girl.
Of course.
And I remember one time it was a group of us talking with the amongst volleyball players, a group of us, and boys and girls. And one person, out of the blue just started saying, "Oh, black people don't play volleyball. It's a white sport."
Wow.
I'm just standing there like,
Wow. Was that a microaggression? Were they just straight up racist? You know what I'm saying? It's a
like
combination.
and like he kind of kept going, and it was like,
Wow.
And I remember like the girls just like looking at me,
Was he
just
trying
like
to get
looking
riled?
at me like I was supposed to do something. And now thinking back on it now, that kind of pissed me off.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why are y'all are putting me in this situation?
Right.
and saying
Why don't
the
you
damn thing?
speak up?
Yeah,
They
it's
just
like,
look
yeah,
at
why
me
don't,
with
yeah,
the-
why don't y'all
the-
say something?
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so that
Yeah, microaggression.
micro / maybe even macroaggression.
Maybe even macro.
Macro?
We're going into macro territory on
You
this.
know?
What about you, Jeremiah?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I see him or experience him all the time. But I remember one that particularly comes to mind was when I was it was at work, and I was calling in to because we got to call into a certain department to work our job or whatever, and we all kind of know each other, whatever. I guess they kind of know who we are. What happened was I called in, and the person who answered the phone said because I worked with another gentleman who was black also.
Right.
And he called me his name.
Right.
So now, mind you, you don't see me.
Right.
You don't see who this is. But, I called in, and he called me the other person's name.
Right.
And it was only two of us.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you didn't mistake me for anybody else but the
But-
black,
right,
But
the
the
other
black dude,
guy.
the other black dude.
And we sound nothing alike.
Right.
Completely different octaves.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
exactly,
So I'm
exactly,
like, wow, really? I'm like, no, I'm the other black guy.
I've had to say that before myself.
And they, and they apologized
It's
profusely. I don't know if it was a genuine mistake, but I mean, that's the type of
Right, type of thing.
Yeah.
So I had a situation where we were hiring a particular position, and I was hiring that position.
You were the lead person
I was
hiring.
the lead person hiring. It was
Mm-hmm.
the job that I wanted.
Right.
I was hiring this person. So when the candidate comes in, you tell them about the position and what it's about.
Right.
So, and it's a group of us. It's a panel interview. So one of the people that were in on the interview, he says to me, "You articulated that position so well." I'm like,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ding,
That's when the microaggression bell in your mind goes
It's
off.
like, this was my position, so.
I think that's what I'm supposed
So
to do.
that one, it threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
It was
I'm
crazy.
sure.
So,
Like, you're talking to me.
you're talking to me.
Right.
Okay.
I'm running this.
I'm the lead. I'm the lead. So,
And you're going
You
to tell me I'm
articulated the position so well.
Crazy.
So, what do you do? In other words, how do you deal with microaggressions?
It
think-
depends on my mood.
Right, yeah. It's a lot of things with me. How do I deal with
How do you deal?
microaggressions?
Yeah.
It, like I said, depends on your mood, depends on the situation.
It
but
really does, yeah.
A lot of times, I try to use humor,
Right.
Yeah.
like I did in that situation, to either
Right.
make the person see what they did wrong,
Yes.
or to make them feel silly.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so that
Right.
they understand,
So
okay.
they know.
Right.
So that they know.
Exactly.
You can't, a lot of times you just can't let it, because
Yeah.
it's like I said, it's a different situation. It's a learning experience for some people. They may
Yes,
not
absolutely.
know, but some people do know, and they're just trying to be silly,
Yeah.
trying to be, disrespectful.
But I think
it
it
all
is
varies.
a lot of it is unconscious because it's just
Not
the
knowing.
way that we're socially conditioned,
Society, right.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, like Dad said, I use a bit of humor. Like I've on numerous occasions says, "No, I'm the other black one."
Oh, I've used that 100.
And
I've
then
used
they're
that
like,
hundreds of times.
"Oh." Or I call it out and say to them, "This is why this feels uncomfortable for me for you to say that."
Right.
Like
Right.
an all-American girl.
Right.
And then the description is something. I'm like, well, what is an all-American girl?
Yeah, exactly. Because
I
in most
could-
people's
Blonde
minds,
hair,
it's
blue
yeah,
eyes.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Flesh-colored stockings.
Flesh-colored. Right. Exactly. So
Who's flesh?
Right. Exactly. But
Band-aids.
but
There's a lot.
there's a lot.
But it's a
It's in
learning,
everything.
and it can be a learning experience. So that's
Yeah.
how I kind of deal.
And some
with
people
it.
really just don't know because they don't experience it.
Right.
Because that's a
Right.
lot of it. It's
Yeah.
that if you're not
Yeah.
living that life, you don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
You
It's
know.
so true.
And but you could tell the genuineness from
Yeah,
the,
I think
you
so.
can. Yeah,
You
yeah,
can.
from the just being
Absolutely. Yeah.
ignorant.
Yeah.
Right, from just being ignorant and how somebody responds to that education also, you could kind of
Right.
tell
Right. How
what
they
the
respond to
intention
it.
is. Because
Right.
if you tell them, oh, this is a microaggression because of XYZ, and they're
Yeah.
like, they choose to, ignore
Right.
it, and it's like, okay, you really don't want to know about
Yeah,
this.
you don't.
You
Yeah,
just
exactly.
want to talk.
Yeah.
And that's where you go hard.
You just want to say what you want to say without fear
Right.
of
Fear
being
of
talked
backlash.
back.
or,
Yeah.
or learning. You don't want to learn.
Yeah.
Right.
You
You
just
just
don't
want to
want
hold on to your beliefs or your
Yeah, it's like,
Right.
but I don't see it that way, and it's just like,
I do think that the educational piece is important is important, just to try and
That was very articulate.
I try as as a Negro. I try to articulate.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you, Massa.
Very important.
They important.
use is smart.
Oh,
Very important.
But no, I think that the educational piece is important because you want to prevent people from continuing on those disbeliefs and
Or
those,
rolling
that
up on the
miseducation.
wrong one.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, because it's like you say, catch somebody on a bad day.
That's right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Where you don't, where
Absolutely.
they don't want to be your teacher.
Right.
And we
I feel
don't
like
want to be your
teaching
teacher all the
Yeah.
time.
And we
Yeah.
shouldn't have to be.
Right.
And we shouldn't.
Right.
And we shouldn't have to be. Yeah.
So we want you to all out there share your stories.
Yeah.
Like how have you experienced microaggressions
Or how do you feel about microaggressions?
Right.
Right.
The
Because
other-
we're
the
talking
other-
about our experiences
Right,
as black
yeah, the
people
other-
and
you know,
other
give us
black
the other
people.
perspective,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
We'd love to hear
Because
that.
we know a lot of people out there in all different groups got like microaggressions.
Microaggressions.
Yeah.
It's
So
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 true.
that everyone can sort of like learn how to sort of like deal with it and try to avoid those pit steps. Because we're all trying to learn.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Definitely.
Bottom line, right?
Yeah, let's continue the conversation on social media. Share some of your stories, your thoughts on today's episode. We have Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook, and we have YouTube.
And hopefully you're watching this on YouTube, and if you are, you should subscribe to the YouTube channel, like this video, comment below if you got something to say like we were saying, and also hit the notification bell,
Ding, ding.
ding ding, so you get notified whenever we put out new videos.
Yes. So we want to thank you for watching Let's Kick It with the Joneses, and we will see you next time.
Peace.